Because Angela Rye, in my opinion, is a reflection of what we see happening from an extreme perspective in the Democratic Party. So I want to go over to this question, but I'm gonna preface it because I haven't actually seen what he said, the guy in the red pink hoodie, prior to Angela Rye crying about what they should do. So let me go back a little bit and see where this question came from that caused her to cry.
Guys, it's Dawn from Houston, Texas, and I just finished your episode, the first one, post-election that I have been frantically waiting on, if I'm being honest. And in response to your question on whether or not you guys should continue the podcast, to put it bluntly, because I've already made 2 videos that are too long, absolutely, hell yes. We need you. We need the information. We need the sensitivity to us, to our culture, to our people, and your work that you've done even before this podcast and that you continue to do through it is going to be instrumental for those of us who are not interested in watching cable news, who don't trust the mainstream media anymore, who want to know the truth about what is happening around us and in our politics. I have shared you guys with so many people, so many young people who just don't have any interest in politics, and they've gotten hooked. Regardless if you reach the quote unquote masses, the community that is here needs you. And we are fairly or unfairly going to lean on you guys for that explanation, for that guide, for that conversation that
I
is
get it.
downright
I get it.
uncomfortable at times.
Wow, wow.
So I'm guessing that the whole premise behind Angela Rye breaking down, and we're gonna get to her in a minute, was they are trying to determine what is the future of their podcast. And I guess the name of the podcast is called Native Land Pod. I don't know where they got that name from. It's pretty weird. But a lot of podcasters are rethinking the amount of time that they're putting into this podcasting space because they don't think that it's bearing fruit. May not necessarily be bearing financial fruit. I can't speak to that because I don't actually break down their numbers or anything like that. And I don't know what their sponsorships are or anything. May not necessarily be bearing financial fruit. And may not necessarily also be fruitful as far as engaging or getting any results as far as the things that they talk about that's meaningful to them. Now, first things first, before we get into his assessment, is I still don't understand why people alienate themselves to their audience and their demographic. Financially and from a business perspective, it is the dumbest thing that I've ever seen myself. When I was listening to this woman talk, she was saying to our people and our community, do y'all want to just separate yourselves? Hey, black people, just in general, do y'all want to separate yourselves to where you want to remove the whole world from supporting you? Because I have a hard time believing that that's true. I believe that y'all also want dollars and attention and visibility, and you want to use the systems and the infrastructure that's in place that didn't necessarily get built by you, such as the internet, such as YouTube, such as TikTok, such as Instagram, such as X, such as Blue Sky, whatever platforms that y'all want to use. I, it's so funny because it's so fake and hypocritical. You want to divest yourself from the rest of the world, but you're using the same systems and the infrastructure that wasn't necessarily built by you to get your word out and to have your podcast and to have these conversations. You sit on city streets with taxes that you didn't pay. You start your business, you rent out space from somebody that don't look like you in order to have your brick and mortar store. You go and buy all of your products from out there on Amazon and Temu to resell, and then you act like you're a black owned business and you only do business with black people, and then you alienate yourself like an idiot and market yourself to a small demographic of people that's only a small percentage of the population that may or may not even see you, while also using these all other platforms to market yourself to them. It makes no sense. Stop acting like you independent. Stop acting like you don't want to be a part of America. Stop acting like you don't want other people to participate and support your platforms. Everything you do, you're using other people to do it. Why are we sitting here talking about you acting like you don't want no friends that don't look like you? I only need to be amongst the community and the community. No, we all love and need each other. We all take from each other. We all use each other. Hopefully we don't misuse each other. Stop acting like you using something and you doing something unique. The very shirt that you got on your back wasn't even made by anybody that looked like you. Stop it. We all friends, we all family, we all get into it, we all use each other, we all have to leverage different platforms and different things from people that we don't even know that's invested in it and put this thing together for you to even be able to get your message out to the people that you want to reach. Stop. Stop. All right. So let's get into what he got to say.
Y'all, I think, as you know, that's a sampling of the many, 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 not to mention the written form comments that have come in. And what resonates with me, and I'm going to toss it over to you, Angela, was.
You know what? This is all fake right away. You know what I don't like? I hate when people sit there. I'm going to get to him. I hate when people sit there and they be like, oh, what do you guys want us to do? Should we just end the pod? Is this over? You know, it just doesn't make sense because the message is not reaching the people. Let me tell you why people end their podcast. Because they not making the money that they thought that they was going to make, and they not growing the way that they going to grow. I can't stand these fake people because, listen, you can do more than one thing at the same time. So you can sit here and you can say, you know what? I do want to give a positive message. I do want to help people. I do want to sell healthy food. I do want to reach out to people. I do want to do this. And I want to be rewarded and compensated fairly for it. These fake, I only want to do this because I love y'all and this ain't even about money. This is about reaching out to the people. Stop, bro. If anybody kills their platform or they kill their podcast, is because they're no longer relevant. They not getting the traction. They may not be growing, or it may not be worth the effort for them to continue to stand it up because they didn't realize the amount of work that goes into it. Or you gaslighting people when you acting like, man, should I kill it? Oh, man. You know what? I don't think people appreciate what we doing. Either you're gaslighting or you're broke. One or the other. Stop it, bro. So let me go ahead and get to this gaslighting.
Was the obligation part of it. I actually, you know how they say in church, you can say amen or ouch.
Who got caught in the hotel room with a dude? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Leslie, what are you talking about? Who was Andrew? Is this guy's name Andrew Gilliam? Andrew Gilliam? All right.
Amen and an ouch in response to that. But I received that appointment, which is you can't bring folks to a certain place and then all of a sudden, you know, like, oh, okay, you got this because, you know, I can't take this kind of stuff right now.
I didn't know that.
There's an obligatory, you know, component to this. But I'd love to hear what's been moving through your mind.
Is that what y'all saying? Leslie, you're going to have to substantiate that. I don't want no accusations out here. He got caught in a hotel with a dude? Oh, Leslie, come on, Les. Don't tell me that. Why y'all doing this? Seriously? I didn't know that. Okay, all right. Let's continue. Y'all, this is why the chat is my co-host. This is why the chat is my co-host. Because now y'all giving me insight. Okay, now it makes sense. Now it's all starting to come. Because I know that Angela Rye used to date Common. Right? Somebody told me that Angela Rye used to date Common. I didn't know nothing about it. I did not know anything about it. I didn't know anything about this at all.
Hey, Rye.
I'm very emotional.
I'm not about to look at no pictures. Listen, we gonna stay on point. We gonna stay on task. I don't want to get into that. Let's focus.
I think that
And he had a whole wife.
I feel the obligation.
I reported on him years ago, Azriel. How did I report on him years ago? Hold on. What? He was called naked high with a trans. Oh, Jerry. Hold on. Y'all serious? What? Eric D, the pictures was all over the web? All right. Y'all said, oh, because he looked different now. Okay. All right. You said I did report on him, but he looks different now. Okay. All right. All right. They need some different co-hosts. I didn't know all of this. I'm learning this I'm learning this as I go. I did not know all of this. I am new, and sometimes I do so many different news stories and so many different reports that I don't necessarily capture everything. All right, let's get it.
Feel
Yeah, hair back there.
frustrated. Honestly, with myself, because I spent so much time
Y'all nuts.
over the last couple of weeks just focusing on the half that I hate right now, like the half of the country that I despise.
Mm.
And
Maybe he got
I'm
himself together.
frustrated about that because
We're not gonna hold him accountable. Let me rewind and let Angela Rye get her hate tears off. Listen, I don't want to hold him. Maybe he's different. Maybe he has a completely different life. Maybe he gave his life over to Jesus. Maybe he's different. We're not going to hold that above him. We're gonna focus. That is a crazy story. We're gonna focus 100% of our energy on what's being communicated, and not whether or not he was in a hotel room in a roach motel with a white man doing bomb powder on his face. So listen, we don't care about that. They said, welcome to the derailment show. We don't care about that. Maybe he gave his life over to Jesus and he had to come to Jesus moment. All right, let's focus, y'all.
and I'm frustrated about that because you don't get understanding through frustration and hate.
Mm.
And I think that what I feel guilty about is knowing that there's an obligation to a whole other half.
You know what the craziest thing ever is for a woman to sit there and tell you that she hates half the country. And I said this yesterday. And I said, you hate, because that's a strong word. And she never took it back. She said she hates half the country because they voted for Trump. Now, for most of our lives, half the country votes for whatever your opposing candidate is. So half the country is always going to be split. So anytime that you run for politics, which is one of the reasons why I always was wondering, hey, Trump must truly want the best for this country if he's running for president of the United States of America, because he had everything. Everybody loved him. Everybody held him down. Everybody supported him. Everybody was rocking with him. Everybody was friends with him, including Joy on The View. And to create a situation where you have to have the whole country, half of the country is going to be divided against you when you run for president of the United States of America, you got to truly be a patriot to create that type of situation if you're not a lifetime politician. But it's weird because then you'll say, well, I hate half the country that didn't vote the way that I voted. But is that only because you lost? And would you still hate half the country if you won? Because then that means that you're just a hateful person. That means you're just a hateful person. If you hate half the country because of the way that they voted, it didn't matter who won or who lost, you're a hateful person because you still have to hate half of the country, even if your candidate had won. And it's weird because it's like, did y'all not see the interview that she did back to her supporters where she was basically drunk in Hawaii? That's still up on her YouTube channel. Crazy, man.
Of the country and feeling like there has to be a conversation, a come to Jesus, as they say, with so many people because we are really not on the same page. And I am at a loss at this point for how to get there. And so I think you guys know I'm fiercely competitive over all kinds of ridiculous things. But what I really don't like to do is I don't mind saying I don't know. I don't mind admitting I don't know. I hate not knowing for an extended period of time and feeling like the overwhelm of I don't know where to turn to find the answer, right? Like, I don't even know if at this point people will be honest about their reasons for voting for the other side or if they'll be honest about who they really voted for because they probably know us or have seen us and wouldn't feel comfortable telling us the truth. So where do you go to solve an I don't know when you're not even confident that people will be honest with you? You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
the weight of that. We were in our group chat earlier, and I'm sorry if I'm flailing. I'm trying to make sense.
You make sense.
We were in our group chat
Yo,
earlier.
this hotel room
And
is
by
crazy.
the way, group chats are now triggering to me because I feel like
Did y'all see all of that blood on that pillow? I couldn't help myself. Y'all keep talking about it in the Millionaire Derailment show that I had to go and deep dive to figure out what the heck I had reported on a couple years ago because I was trying to figure out what's going on. This hotel room is crazy. I'm trying to focus and I can't focus. She over here with tears in her eyes, but look at the company that she keep. Jesus.
when are we just another echo chamber where we're in our own bubble because now we're all getting off Twitter because now Twitter is going to be the hellscape. And now who are we going to talk to beyond our bubbles because we all think at least similar, maybe not the same, but similar. Anyway, I digress. My point is,
I don't even look at them the same. I don't even look at them the same no more, dog. You had a whole wife and a family and you was in a hotel room with all of that?
we all think at least similar, maybe not the same, but similar. Anyway.
Nah, dog. This is not where I anticipated for this story to go.
I digress. My point is, we were in a group chat earlier, and there's this conversation about if the Rainbow Coalition essentially is a thing.
Is he
like,
still
are
married?
we going to all be able to come together as people of color and do the damn thing? And the conversation was like, no, I don't think it's a thing. And I can't lose that hope. Like, if we lose that hope, we don't have a path, y'all. Like, we really don't. If we cannot figure out how to be in coalition,
I'm not screen sharing
in
that.
solidarity on multiple challenges, on multiple fronts, for multiple policy issues, we are f***ed.
Yeah.
We are. Like, there's not a nice way for me to say, Dad, sorry, I had to cuss it. There's no other way for me to explain it. We are f***ed if there's no coalition.
See, and this substantiates what people like Molly in the chat and everybody else that's in the chat kind of says, and I've been saying this on Monday night. Aside from Angela Rye's hate-filled rant that she's on right now, this, honestly, just being Tash, honest to God, what have I been saying on Monday nights? What have I been saying on the Millionaire Morning Show? What have I been saying on the Anton Daniels channel? What have I been saying on After Hours? I've been saying the same thing across the board. And you know what I've been saying? Men that then look to women for leadership is built different. Men that look to women for leadership are built differently. Men that voted for Kamala Harris, I don't trust them. I don't trust them. I genuinely, honest to God, don't trust them. It is a weird thing for me to think about. And now, you know, when I see this on this podcast, and now y'all, the chat done ruined me. The chat then absolutely destroyed and ruined my whole perspective about what life is supposed to be now. Y'all ruined me. Y'all ruined me because now you substantiating what I anticipated and what I absolutely believed in the first place. Men that look to women for leadership